actually got it when COVID happened because it was bringing food to students who were in isolated rooms and they could not leave. But now we use it for all aspects. So let's say if it's a rainy day and students don't want to go to the caf to get food, they can order it on an app, and this robot will bring it to their dormitory. Business. So for my students who said they were interested in international business or international affairs is in a different college, but international business is within the School of Business. And so in the School of Business, it's going to house international business, accounting, finance, computer information systems, marketing, and business management. And so it's supply chain management. And so in here, they actually have a business library because the executive MBA students also study in here. And so this is also where your advisors and your professors will be. So if you're in the School of Business, this is where the majority of everybody who you need to contact will be at. And after your sophomore year, this is where most likely the majority of all your classes will be. And so freshman School of Business students are required to be in something called the 21st Century Advantage Program, or 21 CAP. And 21 CAP is going to be your business orientation. And so on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're going to be required to dress in business professional. You're going to come to your business orientation class. They're going to teach you different things about business. They're going to have different speaker series with Fortune 500 companies. And also within your business orientation, you're going to be placed into a team of other freshman business students. And it can be a mix of marketing, finance, accounting, etc. You'll have a team leader, and then you'll have a corporate sponsor. And then this right here is Crampton Auditorium. Crampton is our premier auditorium on our campus, so the majority of our events that are in person will be inside of Crampton. And so Crampton will house freshman orientation for the College of Arts and Sciences. And the College of Arts and Sciences is the largest college here on Howard University's campus. And that's because it houses everything from biology to chemistry, political science, English, humanities, French. All of that that's under sciences and liberal arts is in the College of Arts and Sciences. And so that is where your freshman orientation will be if it is in person. And then this also has a Ticketmaster in the building. And so that is open to students not only for Howard University events, but also for events in the D.M.V area. And so you're guaranteed to have a ticket that is real, it's not fake, as opposed to if you get it online. And also sometimes they may be at a discounted rate here at the box office as opposed to on the website. And then this is also where we have concerts as well. So the last concert that we had, and these are free to students, we had G Herbo, we had, and Moneybag, yeah, I'm sorry. And so that was really fun. My freshman year, we had Megan Thee Stallion, Cash Doll, and Trina, so that was really fun. And so like I said, free. This is also where fashion shows are held. Our pageants are held here for Mr. and Miss Howard. So Crampton houses pretty much everything that is anything that is an indoor activity here at Howard. So as y'all can see, this is our football field right here. This is Green Stadium. So Green Stadium is going to house our football team, but we also have 21 Division I sports here at Howard. So we have football, we have lacrosse, we have field hockey, women's and men's soccer, women and men's golf, women and men's swimming and diving. I say women and men because we are Title IX inclusive. So we have a wide range of sports and club sports as well. So our most recent club sport that got added to our university is women's rugby. And they actually won the DC City Cup, and they beat Georgetown and GW and American. So that was really fun for our university to get that trophy. They also just got a brand new track. So the track coach is David Oliver, who's an Olympian. And so he got and raised money for us to get a new track so that we can hold, not NCAA events because it's too small, but we can hold some smaller track meets and everything like that. And so yeah, this is our stadium. I know it might look like where all the bleachers, they do set up more bleachers during the games on the end zones, And then people stand, and it's just a really good time. It makes you feel like you're at a cookout, especially when you're playing other HBCUs like Morgan State, which is right up the road, and they come down and they bring their band, and we have our band, and everybody's here, and it's just a real HBCU fun time. This is George W. Cook Hall. So Cook Hall is a freshman boys suite style dorm, so the boys are going to share a bathroom with their roommate. They're responsible for cleaning it and everything like that. And also this is where the majority of freshman boys athletes stay as well, but it's open to all freshman males on our campus. And they have study lounges, they have a game lounge with like a pool table. One of my friends is an RA in here, so the RAs, they do put on events for the guys. So they had a 2K tournament in the lounge. That was really fun. The guys really got into it and everything like that. And there's also laundry services in here for the guys. Every dorm is equipped with laundry services, so you do not have to go to a center or anything like that. And it's also included in your bill, so you don't come out of pocket. You don't have to pay with coins. You just swipe your student ID. And then behind the scoreboard, it's kind of far, but behind the scoreboard, that brown building is Drew Hall. And Drew Hall is our other freshman guys' dorm. So that is going to be communal style. So the guys are going to share a bathroom with their floor mates. It is clean for you twice a day. You have 2 bathrooms at the end of each hallway. Drew Hall is known as kind of where the brotherhood is. Same with the girls' sister dorm, which is the quad, because you are kind of forced, well, not kind of, you are forced to leave your room. You have to go to the bathroom. And so that's kind of how you're able to dap your guys up or say, hey girl, to the girls on your floor and everything like that. So, but it is definitely a preference. So if you're more extroverted, definitely look into communal style. If you're more introverted and you don't necessarily want that aspect of college life, and you can find it in another space, then look into suite style. And you can put your first and second choice on your housing application. Previously reinstated this year. It was previously the Division of Fine Arts, and so our alumni who, if you think of Howard alum, most likely they're people who graduated out of the College of Fine Arts, whether it's Charlie Henson, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman. They're most likely pop culture figures who graduated out of our College of Fine Arts, and so they fought very hard to get it to be back to a degree granting college. And so when they got the College of Fine Arts reinstated, it was also untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman, and so we named it after him because he's an alum of our university and helped to get back our College of Fine Arts. And so in here we're going to have dance majors, we're going to have theater arts majors, acting majors, painting, guitar, piano. Everything that's fine arts is in the College of Fine Arts, and we are actually one of the only HBCUs to have a Bachelor's of Fine Arts programs. Yeah. So that is very important to us, and that is why it was also very important to get it to be back to a degree granting college. And so the current dean of the College of Fine Arts is Felicia Rashad. And so sometimes you might see her walking around campus. She's actually very active. She doesn't have security walking around with her. She just will talk to students, sit down on the benches and whatnot. And when she was on Broadway earlier in the year, she actually invited the College of Fine Arts students to go to the last show and get to talk to her afterwards. So that was something that they really got to enjoy. And so they have ballrooms in here for this. They have not ballrooms, dance rooms in here for the students. They have smaller auditorium spaces for students to utilize for their classes here on our campus. So we actually got it when COVID happened because it was bringing food to students who were in isolated rooms and they could not leave. But now we use it for all aspects. So let's say if it's a rainy day and students don't want to go to the caf to get food, they can order it on an app. And this robot will bring it to their dormitory. The person at the front desk will get it, and then they'll get a notification that their food is downstairs. And if they're in COVID, that will be brought to their door, and if not, they will come down and get it. And so it's really cool. It's AI, so it knows where to go. If you stop in front of it, wave at it, it'll like turn its eyes up and smile and whatnot. So technology has come a long way. But yeah, so we are now on the yard, and so we do have bleachers. The bleachers are not here all the time. It's just because we're about to have graduation, and graduation is on the yard. And so the speaker for graduation this year is Taraji P. Henson, so that's really exciting. And yeah, but typically no bleachers, and it's a lot more open. And so the first building I'm going to talk about is Frederick Douglass Memorial Hall. So Douglass is going to be where your liberal arts students are. So this is where my department is housed, the political science department. It is also where sociology and criminology is housed. And sometimes you'll find some African American studies professors housed in here as well. Regardless of the fact, you most likely will have a class in Douglass before you graduate to fill a gen ed requirement, whether it's an African American studies cluster or it's just a regular social sciences cluster. It will be in here because they do have larger classroom spaces for the students. Sixth to 8th grade STEM Academy charter school, public charter school here at Howard. And so it is open to the D.M.V youth. And so we actually have a really strong relationship with the middle school. Our School of Education is actually required for at least one semester to work alongside the middle school to get hands-on experience. And then even outside of that, if you're not in the School of Education, I mean, a lot of clubs and organizations do a lot with it. So on their first day of school, you can sign up to cheer them on as they come in on their first day of school, and the 6th graders really like it because they get to kind of feel a little bit more welcome. And then I'm in the NAACP here at Howard, and we had a Black History Month event with them just last month, and we did Jeopardy, and we had snacks and everything, and it was a good turnout. So you definitely can get involved with the middle schoolers without necessarily being in the School of Education and whatnot. And then behind you right here, this is Locke Hall. So Locke Hall is going to be the house of the College of Arts and Sciences. So that is where your dean is, and that is also where the assistant dean is. And this is where also the foreign languages are housed here at Howard. So we not only pride ourselves in having, Spanish and French, but we also have African languages as well taught here at Howard. So we have Swahili, we have Yoruba, and so then even outside of African languages, we have Arabic, we have Chinese Mandarin, we have Japanese. And so what you'll find here at Howard is that a lot of the professors in the foreign language department are native speakers. And so because they are native speakers, a good amount of them actually work alongside at the embassies here in DC. And so my French professor, she actually had different internship opportunities at the embassy. She had study abroad opportunities through the embassy. And so even with Spanish, I had a student ambassador. For winter break, she went to Puerto Rico for her Spanish class, and that was something that was extra credit opportunity. And they also, I don't think it was too crazy expensive, but depending on the opportunities that they have, you might be able to find grants or scholarships to be able to go. So Founders Library is probably what you see the most if you ever have seen like a postcard or a picture of Howard. This is Founders, and this is one of 3 libraries here on our campus. And this is also the second federally protected building on our campus. So it cannot be torn down or altered. And previously it was the highest point here in DC because we do sit on a hill here at Howard. That's why we sometimes are referred to as the hilltop. Because we sit on a hill, this was previously the highest point before the skyscrapers and everything like that. It's not taller than like the Washington Monument. It's just where we sit altitude-wise. And so on the first floor is going to be the Springard Research Center, and that is open to all students. It allows you to see different artifacts and peer-reviewed journals and dissertations that the university has, and it is open to students to use for your papers or general research that you're trying to do. This also is where Brown v. Board of Education was deliberated because the lawyers actually attended Howard Law, and so that is something about this building, fun fact. And then for the most part, the majority of your books will be in Founders because they do have something called the stacks, and it's just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of books that are open to you. And I want to mention that Howard is in the consortium, and so that means that our library system is connected with American University's library, Georgetown's library, and George Washington's library. And so these trees represent our different sororities and fraternities and organizations here on our campus, whether they are professional, service, or they are affiliated with the Divine Nine. And so all 9 of the Divine Nine are represented here at Howard University's campus. 5 of the Divine 9 were founded here at Howard University's campus. And so they do ask that if you are affiliated, please go take a picture. And if you are not, please enjoy from afar. Respectfully, that's just their wishes. And so there was something viral that happened where some of the plots were graffitied and spray painted over, and so that actually brought a lot of the sororities and fraternities together because they came out and they helped to paint each other's trees back and to restore them, because this is a very sacred place to not just them but to everybody here in our community. This is Andrew Rankin Memorial Chapel, and so this is our third and final federally protected building here on our campus. And so this is actually where our chapel services previously were held. However, they did outgrow the chapel and they now are in Crampton Auditorium because it services the entire DC community. So there's a lot of people who come to chapel. They have different speakers every Sunday. And like I said, it is non-denominational. So it represents everybody here on Howard's campus. And the Office of the Chapel also has something called the Chapel Assistantship Program, open to all students. And so whether you are Protestant or if you are Catholic or if you are Hindu, Muslim, it is open to you. There is a young lady who is a student ambassador, and she is from India, I'm so sorry, and she is Hindu, and she loves the Chapel Assistant Program because she's able to meet so many people and make friends and also worship and fellowship with other people. So that is definitely open to you if you are interested in that, and you get to be involved with chapel and meet the different speakers that come and everything like that. And then the Office of the Chapel also puts on something called Alternative Spring Break. And so Alternative Spring Break is going to be a week-long event. It is free to students. And so when you do Alternative Spring Break, you are able to sign up for an initiative, whether it is education or it is youth empowerment or it is environmental sustainability. And then you will be placed into a site, whether it is domestic or international. So this past spring break, we had students who went to Puerto Rico to continue to help with hurricane relief. This is going to be where our science classes are housed, and so for my science, pre-med, pre-dental, pre-farm students, this is where you'll be for the most part. So this first building, this is Thurkield Hall. So Thurkield is going to be our physics building here on our campus, and so our physics building is going to house different laboratories. It's going to house the physics department, professors, advisors, and so this also has some large auditorium spaces as well. So you might just have a random class in here as well, just because it can house a larger class section. And then I'll get into class sizes once I finish going through these buildings. But that is Thurkield, and Thurkield is actually where Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated was founded. So that is where, if you ever see one of their probates, they always take time on the steps of Thurkield. And then this building behind me is the chemistry building, and so this is one of the only buildings on our campus not named after somebody. And so the student ambassadors like to say, well, if you do great work in chemistry, that can definitely be your name on the building, or mine, since you know I get a charge. But no, definitely yours. But this is the chemistry building, and so I want to say, if you are a biology major or if you are a psychology major, you are required to minor in chemistry, for the simple fact that Howard knows that for the most part, the reason you're majoring in bio or psychology is to go on to get your medical degree or to go to get your master's in psychology or whatever the case may be. So they do want to help you get your prereqs out the way without you having to worry about doing so on your own. It's renovated and reopened this year. So they're pretty much even keeled when it comes to amenities and resources and newness, if you're looking for that. And they both have AC. So there's that. So yeah, those are our 2 freshman girls' dorms. This is annex, typically upperclassmen, co-ed, and then beside that down the hill is College Hall South, upperclassmen co-ed as well. So this right here, this is WHUT. This is our TV station here on our campus. We are one of the only Black-owned public broadcasting television stations. So if you ever turn on PBS, you might be able to see one of their segments being recorded here at Howard University. And for our students in the School of Communications, this is open to them to intern in and get hands-on opportunities right here on campus without having to go too far here at our television